Alright, this video I'm doing right now is for the user Nikkor 55-200mm. I hope that I have pronounced your user ID correctly, who is asking about the aperture in manual mode and aperture priority. The reason this user had asked in an email that their lens would not go down to f4, and if I could explain a little bit on that. And user Chris Lee1, I hope that I have pronounced your user ID correctly also, who is asking about the 55-200mm lens. And in an email I was asked why I thought that it was the crappiest lens that I have used, and I will explain that also. But first, I'm going to go ahead and answer the aperture priority. Okay, and if you look, this is an 18-55mm f3.5 to 5.6 range. So what that means is that at its minimum zoom, the maximum aperture is f3.5, and at its maximum zoom, the maximum aperture is 5.6. And if you watch as you zoom, you see the aperture actually increase, or the numbers actually increasing, which means the openings are getting kind of smaller. And I am at 55 millimeters, and we're at 5.6. And I'm going to turn the knob here, and of course you will not be able to, make the aperture change any. You can make it go smaller, but you can't make it any wider or any more open. And of course I'll go ahead and zoom down to 18 millimeter, and of course I can make it go all the way open to 3.5, and it will go and close as small as you want it almost. And that's what that means. And of course, and you were asking why it wouldn't go past f4. It might have been the design of the lens also, because if you look at some lenses, yeah, here we go. If you look at some of the designations, like 18-55mm f3.5 to 5.6, I've explained that, and like a 70-300mm f4 to 5.6. What that means, at 70 millimeters, its maximum aperture is f4, and at 300 millimeter, it's f5.6, the maximum aperture. Or a 17-50 millimeter f2.8, which what that means, at 17 millimeter, the maximum aperture is f2.8. And at 50 millimeters, the maximum aperture is f2.8. So it's kind of like a fixed aperture, you might say, but you can adjust it to anything that you want, which is a more suited, a more sought after lens for shooting. That's better low light, kind of like for, more activity, faster shots. So that's pretty much what that is, and I hope that I have explained that well. And if I haven't, you can go ahead and shoot me another message and I'll explain, or I'll try to do a better job anyway. Alright, and now the next question I've got is about the 55-200mm lens. Okay, I'm going to swap lenses out. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my 55-200mm lens attached. And the reason why I say this is the crappiest lens, I'm out here, if I'm going to shoot a picture of the woods, say, We'll look through the viewfinder. And say we're gonna look and get a picture of these trees through that finder. I'm going to need, I'm in manual, so I'm gonna say at ISO 200, probably 1/250th of a second exposure. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Keep going. We'll go at 1/320th. And let's see, yeah, autofocus. And we'll go ahead and let you. Okay, we're a little dark, we're a little underexposed, but these faster shutter speeds, let me go ahead and slow it down a little bit. There we go, 1/200th of a second. And we'll go ahead and compose this shot. And I'm going to throw this one up on the screen right now. And that one's got the more proper exposure. But the reason why this is a crappy lens is because indoors it does not work well. It does not react very fast. It hunts too much. I've used other lenses before. I've used a 70-300mm lens, and it never has hunted like this one. And I think it just doesn't. I think this is like a 5-element or something like that. I don't know how many it's in it, but. And I've also gotten a lot of refractions on it, which comes from low exposure sometimes. But outdoors like this, it does pretty good. You might have luck with it doing scenery and maybe some outdoor sports, but indoors I do not recommend it. If I'm going to spend money on a lens, I would get a 70-200mm f2.8. That would be my choice. Get a Tamron. They got a good price on those. However, I've got a 70-300mm that will be coming this week. I just got it at a good price. But I don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll do a review on that. So hopefully that pretty much answered your question. Like I said, it's not bad outdoors. Inside it just really sucks. So hopefully if I hadn't answered any of these questions good enough, just shoot me a message or comment or something, and I could probably do a better job. But anyways, thanks for watching.